series on differentiation and inclusion, we have been covering many live workshops covering how to adapt lessons to suit the needs of all learners. And particularly in this May workshop, we're thrilled and pleased to share about one classroom strategy to improve participation of all learners as well. It's really lovely to see you here today. I can see, is it Fatih from Somaliland? Lovely to join you, for you to join us today. Thank you so much. And Najilafat as well, thank you so much for joining from Cameroon. You are a biology and science teacher as well. Precious, thank you so much. From Zambia, really lovely for you to join us as well. Thank you so much, CEO and founder of Youth Essential Skills. Lovely, thank you so much for joining. And I hope that you take one of these strategies away that you can definitely implement into your classrooms as well. But let's continue, because we've got 3 aims and objectives that we're going to be covering today. And if you're joining live on Facebook too, it's really lovely to see you all as well. So our 3 objectives that we're covering today focuses on the following. Recognise the different ways learners can participate in a class. We're going to then be focusing on the importance of classroom participation, particularly as well. In addition to all of that, we're going to be sharing one particular strategy called No Hands Up. And this is also found on our Teach2030 courses as well as other practical strategies that you can also use too, to help learners participate in class as well. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not joined on my own. I'm here and I'm joined with one of our ambassadors, our Teach2030 ambassadors, Bantar Clinton, who is wonderful to join us and elevate his voice and experiences in the classroom too. So Bantar, would you like to share a little bit about you, where you're from, and a little bit about your teaching experience too? Thank you, Bantar. There you go. Bantar, can you talk? Yes, there you are. I can see you.
Okay. Hello, Priya. Hello, Priya. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm so much excited. Hello, everyone. My name is Bantar Clinton. I'm a teacher at Baby Steps International School. I'm equally the Teach2030 ambassador for the Republic of Congo. I'm a Year 5 teacher. Here in Congo, we work with a self-content classroom. So I teach all the subjects. Thank you. Priya, back to you.
Thank you so much, Bantar. It was really clear as well. And so lots of really great experiences too. So as I said, let's have a look at our workshop today, because we're looking at participation of all learners. And first of all, I'm sure that there are many different ways that our learners already participate in our classroom learning as well. So these are just 4 examples. It could be from anything such as working in small groups. Students could be having hands-on activities and tasks, which is always really helpful because they can learn from each other as well. Learners can also participate in class as well through answering questions that we've prepared as teachers too. And finally, one of my suggestions how learners can participate in class is also student-led participation, when they take lead, elevate their voices about their learning, and confidently talking about something that you have taught the class that they can share with the rest of the class too. Now, these are just 4 examples, but I'm certain that they have missed out so many other opportunities as well. Maybe as teachers joining into the workshop, can you also write down and also suggest another way that learners also participate in the classroom too? You can write that into the comment box. If you're joining on Facebook, feel free just to write a comment as well. I can also view your comments too. I'll give you a moment just to think about and consider other ways too. Precious, thank you so much. What a really good example, using videos as well. I think that's a really great way to get learners to participate as well. Maybe they could be taking videos or using videos as well, and using video footage as well. But thank you so much. I think that's a really helpful strategy there as well. Let's move on, because although I've shared, you know, the different ways learners can participate, why is this important to start with? Why should learners participate in class? And here is just 3 main reasons why. So the first reason is it helps with memory. If learners can participate in class, they go beyond simple comprehension, but actually involve cognitive function as well. So they're using different parts of their brains as well. James, thank you so much for also mentioning in the comment a problem-based format. I think that's a really wonderful way to get learners to communicate with others about a problem and also come to some form of conclusions too. Thank you for that contribution. Let's continue though. So learners can also learn from each other as well. So that's also something really, really important too, to reinforce some of those concepts too. The other aspect is it increases their student motivation. And so the student motivation part is really very important, because they can take lead as well, because they recognise for their contribution too. So they want to continue to motivate as well. So let's move on to one of those concepts as well. And so Bantar, would you be able to share the strategy that helps all learners that we were talking about and sharing about how we can increase learners' participation as well? Can you introduce a little about No Hands Up and how you've used this as well? We'll share about how we can use this in classes as well. I'll give you a moment, Bantar. Thank you.
Okay, Priya, thank you very much. Okay, in classroom as a teacher, we need to alternate, we need to change our teaching strategies, since we have different type of learners in our classroom. And one of these strategies is no hands up as a strategy. First of all, what is no hands up strategy? It is a strategy that enables or ensures that all the learners, they should be aware that they might be called at any time to answer a question or to give their own opinion in class. And I think this strategy is a good one, because all the learners, when they're in class, they are going to be awakened. Each learner will know that he or she might be called upon at any time to answer a question. So I think this is a good strategy that we can also implement in our classrooms. Brilliant. At least it will make the teaching learning process to move on smoothly. Thank you, Priya.
Thank you so much. That was really well explained as well. Thank you so much for that, Bantar. And so using something simple like no hands up can be really helpful. Let's just take the steps though, because Bantar's mentioned some really important steps as to ensure that all learners can participate. So how can we do this as teachers and implement this into our classroom tomorrow, for instance? First of all, it can be something simple as having a pot and having some slips of paper. And on that slips of paper, adding your learners' names on each one of the slips of paper. So I've just got 2, just as an example in the pot provided. Now, what you then do is at this point is you tell your learners that you're not going to ask them to put their hands up. Because often what happens is sometimes the same learners want to participate or really motivated, but to try and get all learners involved, you're going to ask the learners not to put their hands up at all, because it's called no hands up. And at this point, you can choose which learners you would like to speak to as well. Bantar, would you want to look at this next slide and just explain what the next part is of this no hands up as well?
Okay, Priya, yeah, I will be excited to do so. Okay. Yes, like with the no hands up strategy, since in class or when you move into some classrooms, teachers are always tempted to select only the best students in class to answer questions. I think which is not good, which is not fair. So with no hands up, a student might be selected at random to answer a question. That means with the use of a small pot, you can write the names of your students and you put the names in that pot. When a question is being asked in class, you just pull a name from the pot at random. The student's name that has been pulled from the pot, you just call the student to answer the question. I think with this one, students, all the students, they will know, they will have in their mind that they can call at any time to respond to questions in class. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Banto, you explained it so well. And it's something simple that it could be a question I've put up here is describe the features of the tropical rainforest. So if that is something that you're working on, or you can change that question, that's the question you're posing to your class and your learners as well. But you can pick them at random. Absolutely. Now, what's the whole point of No Hands Up is it tells your learners it is their chance to shine and show what they know as well. So using a simple strategy to ensure that everybody in your classroom can participate, use No Hands Up. So let's consolidate this together. First of all, actually, would you consider using No Hands Up in your planning as well? Maybe tomorrow. It'd be lovely to see if you can. Maybe you can put a yes, or you can put a thumbs up or an emoji or something from into the comment box on Zoom or even on Facebook as well. Please do add something as well if you would think you might probably use something like this as well. Oh, brilliant, always, which is really, really great to see. Fantastic. So let's move on. Let's consolidate a little bit more of our learning today, as we've covered quite a fair amount in a short space of time. The whole idea is creating a culture of classroom participation among all your learners so that they can all participate. Now, what I would suggest as a teacher is we do need to plan a range of effective questions beforehand. But it's also important that your learners know some knowledge about it so that they can answer those questions too. And then, so that you can keep that participation level up for all of your learners, use No Hands Up as a simple strategy to ensure that everyone can participate as well. Now, as you can see on the bottom of the slide, we're coming to the very end. There is a code that you can use. Now, you can either take a screenshot or write this down. It's BC Congo. And BC is Bantar Clinton's code, Teach2030 code that you can use, where you can access Teach2030 courses for free. So if you're new to joining our workshop today, it's been a pleasure to have you here, but you can learn more about other practical strategies as well as No Hands Up and implement them into your classroom too by using the code BC Congo to access our courses as well. So just so that you're aware, you can access them by joining www.teach2030.com. You can also gain post-event materials, which is a small poster just covering today what we've covered as well. And we're really thrilled that a lot of what Bantar has covered today is also on the poster too, so you can share this with your colleagues as well. And again, if you want to know just a little bit more about our courses, this is our free workshops. We have part 1 of our courses free as well, but if you use Bantar's code, you can also get part 2 free as well. So when you visit www.teach2030.com, you can click and register at the top here, and then follow and register the steps here using the code, and that will give you access to the rest of the courses as well to support your professional development as well. Now, we're coming towards the very end. We are really thrilled to have so many of you joining from across the globe as well. In addition, we are really thrilled, and I'm so thankful to having Bantar here today to share more about his expertise and using this particular strategy in the classroom. We are forever grateful for all of the support that you give us at Teach2030 as well. So thank you so much for all of you for joining. I do apologise for some of the additional noise during our workshop today as well, but thank you again for your patience. We do appreciate it. And thank you very much. You can join and continue to join us on our free workshops. We'll see you next month as well in our June workshop too for our final inclusion and differentiation workshop. Thank you again. Banta, I don't know if you want to say anything towards the end, please feel free to do so.
Okay, Priya, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. I would equally like to thank other ambassadors who took their time to attend today's session and other teachers who are coming in. That Teach 2030 is a very good platform that will enable teachers to move ahead, at least to develop professionally. So we advise other teachers to do well to sign in the Teach 2030 community. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye now. Thank you all for joining.